Hello students, welcome to the course Atoms and Molecules for MSc Physics Semester 2 as per the revised syllabus of Savitribai Phule Pune University CBCS 2019 pattern. So, we are studying our first module Atoms. In this lecture, we are going to study the revision of quantum numbers. In the previous lecture, we have studied Bohr's theory of hydrogen atom and hydrogen atom spectrum. We have also studied the strengths of Bohr model and drawbacks of Bohr model. So, let us study the revision of quantum numbers. So, we know that the satisfactory explanation of the stability of the atom and observed spectrum of hydrogen atom was given by Professor Niels Bohr in 1913 by applying quantum theory to the Rutherford model of the atom. In this model, Bohr introduced a quantum number n which takes integral values, that is 1, 2, 3 up to infinity. That is, electron can revolve only in some permitted orbits defined by the quantum number n. So, in the second postulate, the Bohr introduced the quantization of angular momentum of the electron. That means, the angular momentum of the electron is quantized and only those orbits are permitted for the electron for which the angular momentum of the electron is integral multiple of h upon 2 pi, where h is Planck's constant and this n is called as principal quantum number and it takes values from 1, 2, 3 dash 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 up to infinity, right. So, Bohr's model was able to explain the stability and experimental spectra of hydrogen and hydrogen-like atoms such as ionic helium, but it was not able to explain observed spectra of larger atoms because the electronic structure and spectra of such atoms is more complicated. Later, many people contributed to the atomic theory, introducing new models. In order to explain observed spectral features, new quantum numbers were also introduced. So, in this lecture, we are going to study the different quantum numbers. The quantum numbers denote the position and energy of electron in an atom. Each quantum number denotes either the energy, size, shape or direction or orientation of the orbital. Some of the quantum numbers also represent the angular momentum and behavior of the electron in external magnetic field. We use a set of quantum numbers to represent a particular electron in an atom. So, we know that the electron takes place in different orbitals of SPD types, right. So, the size and shape of the orbital is described by the quantum numbers. So, in this lecture, we are going to study different quantum numbers like principal quantum number n, orbital or azimuthal quantum number L, magnetic quantum number m or ml or Lz, spin quantum number s, spin magnetic quantum number ms or sz, total angular momentum quantum number j and total magnetic angular momentum quantum number mj or jz. The principal quantum number n is introduced by Bohr in order to explain the non-radiating or stationary orbits. It takes values n equal to 1, 2, 3 dash 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 up to infinity. In modern atomic theory, the principal quantum number n also denote the shells k, l, m, n, etc. So, the principal quantum number n governs the energy and size of the orbital. The size of the orbital means the space within which an electron can move according to the Schrodinger's theory. It corresponds approximately to the earlier idea of Bohr that electrons move in circular or elliptical orbits like planet around a sun. Energy and size of the orbital are connected to each other, that is, smaller the size of the orbital, it is closer to the nucleus will be and more firmly bound to the atom. The energy and size of the orbit increases with increasing n value. The maximum number of electrons that can be accommodated in a given shell is given by twice n square. So, next quantum number is orbital or azimuthal quantum number L. So, the azimuthal quantum number was proposed by Sommerfeld in order to explain the fine structure of hydrogen atomic spectrum. So, it denotes the sublevels or subshells in the atom and it is denoted by L. So, this quantum number takes integral values only but it must be less than n. The number of sublevels in a given main energy level is equal to the principal quantum number n. These sublevels are indicated by azimuthal quantum number L, which can take values from 0 to n minus 1. For example, in an orbit of principal quantum number n is equal to 3, there are 3 sublevels denoted by L equal to 0, 1, 2. The azimuthal quantum number governs the shape of the orbital and the angular momentum of the electron as it revolves in the orbit around the nucleus, that is orbital angular momentum of the electron. So, for example, for L is equal to 0, we get s orbital, for L is equal to 1, we get p orbital, for L is equal to 2, we get d orbital. That means, for different L values, we get different shapes of the orbitals. So, next quantum number is magnetic quantum number. It is denoted by M or ML or LZ. So, this magnetic quantum number was proposed by Lande in order to explain the Zeeman and Stark effect. So, we know that the Zeeman effect is the splitting of spectral lines in strong magnetic field and Stark effect is the splitting of spectral lines in strong electric field, right. So, it is denoted by M and it takes integral values which depend on L. So, the number of orientations possible for orbitals in a given sublevel L is equal to the twice L plus 1 and can have values from minus L to plus L. That means, it takes twice L plus 1 values. For example, for L is equal to 2, M can take values from minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1 and 2. That means, it takes twice L plus 1 values, right. This quantum number governs the direction or orientation of the orbital and behavior of the electron in orbital when the atom is placed in the magnetic field. So, let us see this picture. So, we can have the 1s orbital for we can denote it by n is equal to 1, L is equal to 0, M is equal to 0, right. For n is equal to 2, L is equal to 0 and M is equal to 0, we again get an s orbital, but it is twice s orbital and its size is slightly greater than the 1s orbital. For n is equal to 3, L is equal to 0 and M is equal to 0, we get 3s orbital, right. Its size is much greater than 1s and 2s orbitals. So, n is equal to 3 refers the third we can say shell, L equal to 0 refers the s orbital and M is equal to 0 refers the only one direction or orientation of this orbital, right. In the case of p orbitals, we can have n is equal to 2, L is equal to 1. So, right, but this M can take 3 different orientations, right. So, M can take 3 different values. So, minus 1, 0, plus 1 and therefore, these p orbitals they can have 3 different orientations, right. So, this S we can it is helpful to connect with the spherical nature of these orbitals, but historically the word S came from the particular sharpness arising from the spectral lines or transitions of electrons occupying the s electrons, right. So, the p world came because historically the transitions from these levels were thought to be principal, and there is no particular rule to assign the m value to particular px or py or pz orbital, right. The d world came from the diffuse nature of spectral lines and f came from the fundamental, right. So, we can see the shapes of different orbitals. So, this is s orbital, these are p orbitals, these are d orbitals, and these are f orbitals. So, we can see the p orbitals take 3 different orientations, d orbitals take 5 different orientations, and f orbitals take 7 different orientations. Let us take some examples. For n is equal to 1, L is equal to 0, right. So, m is also equal to 0 and we get s orbital. For n is equal to 2, we can have 2 different values of L, that is L is equal to 0 and L is equal to 1. For L is equal to 0, again m is equal to 0, right, and we get s orbital again. For L is equal to 2, we get 3 different orientations of m, that is m is equal to -1, 0, plus 1, and therefore, we get 3 different orientations of p orbital. So, L is equal to 1 refers p orbital and m has 3 values, that means it has 3 different orientations. For n is equal to 3, we can have 3 different values of L, that is 0, 1 and 2. So, for L is equal to 0, we get m is equal to 0, again s orbital. For L is equal to 1, m is equal to -1, 0 or plus 1. So, we have 3 different orientations and L is equal to 1 represent the p orbital. For L is equal to 2, it refers the d orbital and m values are -2, -1, 0, plus 1 and plus 2, that means 5 different orientations of d orbitals. For n is equal to 2, L can take values from 0, 1, 2, 3, right. So, for L is equal to 0, again we get m equal to 0, that means s orbital. For L is equal to 1, we get 3 different values of m, that means p orbital. For L is equal to 2, we get 5 different values of m, that means d orbital, and for L is equal to 3, we get 7 different values of m, therefore, it is represent the f orbitals, right. Next quantum number is spin quantum number. It was proposed by Goldsmith and Uhlenbeck to explain the double line structure of alkali metal spectra, right. The spectrum coming from alkali metal atoms is showing the double line structure or doublet kind of structure, and in order to explain the doublet structure in alkali metal atoms, this quantum number was introduced by Goldsmith and Uhlenbeck. So, S is a magnitude plus half only, right. So, we are considering S is of magnitude only plus half only, right. So, it governs the spin or axial angular momentum of the electron. Next quantum number is spin magnetic quantum number ms or Sz. So, this quantum number is denoted by ms or Lz and it can take values plus half or minus half. It governs the z component of the axial angular momentum of the electron, right. So, it governs the spin or the z component of the axial angular momentum of the electron. Next quantum number is total angular momentum quantum number. It was introduced in order to explain the multiplet structure of spectral line. Why certain spectral lines show multiplet structure? Multiplet in the sense that more than 2 spectral lines are present in such lines. That means, when we see the spectral lines with high resolution spectrometers, we can see the spectral lines are not single, but they consist of more than 2 or more than 3 lines, and therefore, they are called as multiplet structures, right. So, it takes values from L plus S to L minus S. Since S is plus half only, J takes half integral values only, right? So L is orbital angular momentum quantum number, S is spin quantum number, so J is total angular momentum quantum number, which is sum of the orbital angular momentum plus spin angular momentum, and therefore it takes values of L plus S to L minus S, and since S is plus half only, J takes half integral values only. It governs the total angular momentum of the electron. Next quantum number is total magnetic angular momentum quantum number. It is denoted by Jz or Mj. This governs the Z component of the total angular momentum of the electron. Jz takes half integral values only. So Jz takes values from minus J to plus J, right? In summary, we have revised the various quantum numbers like principal quantum numbers, azimuthal or orbital angular momentum quantum number, magnetic quantum number, spin quantum number, spin magnetic quantum number, total angular momentum quantum number, and total magnetic angular momentum quantum number, etc. Right? In the next lecture, we are going to study the Pauli exclusion principle. Then we are going to study the above principle, Hund's rule, and electronic configuration of the atom. Thank you.